All right, my favorite people on the YouTube. Today we're going to go into the 5 books that have changed my life, which I'm confident they will change yours too, so stay tuned. All right, first, I'm going to get some caffeine into my system. Here's the machine here. You've probably seen it in other videos. I don't like too much of getting caffeine because you guys already know I'm already very energetic. So putting caffeine already on my energeticness really just takes it to a whole nother level. And oftentimes I'll go with this, or I'll just go with some tea over here, but all of these teas have caffeine in them, but some of them do not. But it's just a good way to get a nice little jolt going depending on the day. If I'm feeling, I need that extra little edge, I'll get this into my system, but don't want to go too overboard because I do not want to become dependent upon it. All right, so you guys, this is locked here, so just follow me this way. And I forget where I parked out here in the parking garage, so we're gonna have to do a little search and find. But the first book that I wanna mention to you guys is the one, Maverick Mindset by Doug Hall. And interesting enough, this book was recommended by Mike Tyson of all people. But Mike Tyson is quite the thinker. If you guys really take a deep level, I know he's got some other things going on. Oftentimes, I still gotta figure out where my car is. It's on the 2nd floor. But just going back to the Maverick Mindset, it has stories within it of when people were able to overcome certain trials and tribulations that they have and how they were able to turn lemons into lemonade. And the same thing is just with my story that many of you guys know of, is that I grew up Section 8 housing, welfare, food stamps, and just not the greatest of environment. And I could have took the victim mindset, which is what people could have taken in that book, but they decided, well, let me go ahead and figure out a way how to make something out of this. And my car's over there, so we're good to go. All right, and the next book is, Sell or Be Sold by GC, Grant Cardone. And this book I've listened to on repeat via audiobook. So I know some people, when they listen to a book, they say that they read the book, but I actually listened to this book. Partially may have read it too, but this one in particular was able to get that sales is everything. And then also on top of that, that the importance on follow-up and being creative in your follow-up. So a prime example when going direct to owner, for instance, is that when you're following up, you can keep doing the same message. Now you're interested in selling your property. Now you're interested in selling your property. Now you're interested in selling your property. Or you can take a more creative approach and see how you can push value that person's way, and just always constantly taking different angles as a way to follow up. And then also that creativity follows commitment. When you're committed enough, you'll find a way and you'll be creative. If not, you'll just keep using the same follow-up. So that's the biggest thing, but sales is everything, not just in business, but even in everyday life. Let's say in relationships, for instance, that you're looking to sell the other person on why to go out. I don't believe you should prove anything to anyone, but let's say that's the case, is that you still got to do the follow-up and you've got to do the lead nurturing, and then you've got the date, and then you've got the whole process. It's all sales. That's what I've really gotten to take away from that. Or even selling your ideas to other people, you have to sell them to be a part of your team. So I know I went on a little rant, you guys, but it really goes bigger than that. All right, it is a beautiful day here, and we're walking through the grass here in the park at downtown Houston. Take a look at that skyline that we have there. Absolutely beautiful. But at the same time, we've got to watch out for any landmines that may be underneath us, and landmines are poop, by the way, you guys. The next book is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. And I always enjoy those books where the actual author writes it about themselves. And you really was able to go through his mindset when he was starting the company, Nike, the partnership, and a lot of the trials and tribulations and failures that he had, because what I've learned is that it's not all sunshine and rainbows when it comes to these types of things. There's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of putting in the work in order to get to that highlight you see of where Nike is today. All right, you guys, and the next book is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff by Rich Carlson, and it's simple as the title says, is not sweating the small stuff. And one of the takeaways from that book is that focusing on the things that you can control and not focusing so much on the things that you can't control, because you can worry about all these things in life that actually may not happen. Or let's say you're working to get your first deal and you don't have the capital, is that you can focus on that, hey, I don't have the money, or I don't have the right team. Or you can decide, okay, what can I focus on what I can actually do, which is how do I go find those people? How do I get the money and partner with someone in which I can bring capital to them? So go ahead and comment below so far on what has been your takeaway from those books that I did mention, or if you've read those books before, go ahead and comment below. And so the next book for you guys is The 4 Agreements by Don Ruiz. And this is more of a spirituality book, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the points for you because I oftentimes forget what they are. First one is be impeccable with your word, which is do as you say and be of integrity. If you say you're going to do something, fully commit to actually doing that. The second is don't take anything personal. This is a big one, especially for me, is that when people do certain things, many times is they're looking out in their best interests and just not taking it personal, because there's a lot of things like in the comment section where people say not so nice things, or owners of properties, they may get frustrated that, hey, why are you calling me at this time? That offer's too low, and they'll say something not so nice, is just to not take it personal. The third is don't make assumptions. And by making assumptions is just asking questions to further get clarification on what it is, because assumptions can get you in trouble. And the last but not least is always do your best. All right, you guys, so that is the summary of my 5 top books that have been changing for me, life-changing for myself. Go ahead and comment below what has been one life-changing book for you. In summary, we've got Maverick Mindset by Doug Hall. Second, we've got The 4 Agreements, by far one of my top favorites. Sell or Be Sold by GC, Grant Cardone. We've got Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. And lastly, we've got Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And one thing that I've also started to incorporate more and more is just rereading and listening to the same books, because the first time you go through something is you'll get 1 to 2 parts, but as you start to gain more awareness and you go through a book again, is you'll actually be able to take different parts from it. So that's one thing I would say, you guys, go ahead and comment below what is one of your favorite books that you've read that's been a life changer for you. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you.